Hi there, I will be discussing how a paternity test works. To start, I will need to provide some background information on short tandem repeats or STRs. They are DNA markers used in paternity testing. STRs are repeated units of DNA that vary in length among individuals. One particular repeat STR is relatively easily measured and compared between individuals. STRs are comprised of units of bases which are usually 2 to 5 bases long that repeat multiple times. STR sites are used to characterize people's genotypes because different people will have a different number of repeats. There are regions of variation within the human genome, even though it is relatively identical. This variation can occur in areas that do not code for proteins. Every STR has multiple alleles or variants, and each is defined by the number of repeat units present. Using a technique called polymerase chain reaction, it is possible to follow DNA markers. STRs need to be easily amplified by polymerase chain reaction. In the diagram on the left, the STR is multiplied millions of times. STRs are typically found in non-coding regions of the genome, which are regions that do not code for amino acids. STRs need to be selectively neutral as shown with the earlobes because the type of earlobe was not adapted due to a need for it. STRs also need to be abundantly dispersed throughout a genome. They need to be codominant, meaning that they are able to detect both alleles they would inherit from their parents. Finally, they need to be extremely polymorphic, which means they have lots of different types of individuals in a single species. New alleles arise by a mutation. During the process of DNA replication, the DNA polymerase can make a mistake and generate more or less repeated units. This is possible because STRs consist of repeated DNA sequences. When additional repeated units are replicated or repeated units are missing, it is called DNA polymerase slippage. This happens because DNA polymerase can easily slip on the template and misalign DNA strands during the replication of repeated DNA sequences. The slippage of DNA polymerase is not detrimental because STRs are found in non-coding or non-regulatory regions of DNA. The extra copies created are insignificant and have little to no consequences of the health and behavior of the individual. Because they are insignificant, they are not eliminated from the population by natural selection. DNA can be swabbed from the saliva in your mouth. The sample then goes through a polymerase chain reaction to rapidly make millions or billions of copies of STR sites. After the polymerase chain reaction is complete, the DNA is analyzed in capillary electrophoresis. Capillary electrophoresis is a standard technique in forensic analysis because of the speed and ease of analysis. Capillary electrophoresis systems separate DNA from a mixture quickly with great accuracy. A PCR reaction is done to amplify a particular STR. Primers used in the PCR have a fluorescent tag on them. After the PCR is complete, DNA samples are run through a capillary tube. The DNA is negatively charged and will be attracted to the positive end of the capillary tube. As it moves through the capillary tube, the DNA will be separated based on its size. The fluorescent tags on the DNA are excited when it passes through a laser. The tags are detected with a computer that identifies the fluorescent signal. A graph called an electrophoregram is created by the computer and can be interpreted by looking at its peaks. A DNA ladder is ran so you are able to differentiate the size of the peaks. If 2 peaks are present, the individual is heterozygous for the alleles at that STR site. If 1 peak is present, the individual is homozygous for the alleles at that STR site. Polymerase chain reaction for all STR can be done in a single reaction tube because each of the primers will have a fluorescently labeled tag. The information for the alleles at all of the different STR sites you are testing will appear on a single graph. And DNA STRs are surrounded by non-variable segments of DNA known as flanking regions. Flanking regions are essential because knowing their sequences allows geneticists to isolate the STR using PCR. Every individual has 2 alleles per STR because they inherit one from each of their parents. If an individual has identical alleles, they are homozygous at the STR site. If an individual has 2 different alleles, they are heterozygous at the STR site. The number indicated on the pedigree represents the number of STR repeats and whether the individual is homozygous or heterozygous. It is important to know how common an allele is in a population. Allele frequencies tell you how common a particular allele is in a population. A low frequency means there are a lot of alleles at the STR site. The electrophoregram of just one STR on its own is not convincing enough in any court. It is critical to know the probability of someone else in the population having the same genotype for multiple STRs as a potential father. Individual STR probabilities are calculated by two different ways. If the person's genotype is homozygous, the frequency is p squared. If the person's genotype is heterozygous, the frequency is calculated by 2pq. To calculate how likely it is that someone else in the population would match the father's DNA, the probabilities of each STR genotype are multiplied by one another. The probability of an exact match at multiple STR sites becomes increasingly rare for that to happen by chance in a population. The police and forensic analysis team use up to 20 STRs when determining whose DNA matches a sample. It becomes pretty much impossible for somebody's DNA to be an exact match and it not be the DNA from that person.